I know he's with us. People say, Marilyn, he's with you. I said, I know he's with me, but I just want to see his expressions. I want to see that happiness in his face. That's what I'm missing right now, eh? Like, I want to see, the jubilation in him and all the excitement.
He's talking about going to university and different things, and he's adamant that he's more than just a hockey player. And he told the Broncos and told the numerous scouts that I'm not going to your university just to play hockey. I want to go where I want to go, and that's the University of Lethbridge. So that's why we've tried to push really hard that he's more than just a hockey player.
We are devastated. I don't know. How do you describe a loss of a child? People say they can't imagine what we're going through, and I think, no, you can't.
In the grand scheme of things and in the hockey world, Mark was ordinary. But he did everything at an extraordinary level. So he was polite, he was well-mannered, he was honest, he worked hard, he put others ahead of himself. It's easy to take the shortcut all the time. Mark never took a shortcut, no matter what it was.
Growing up with him, he drove us everywhere. I was always so confident in him, and I knew he'd get us safely point A to point B, and I knew driving all those kids, he would get them safely.
He used to tell his players, and it was not in this context at all, but we've changed it to fit our context now. But he used to say, take care of the seconds and the minutes take care of themselves. And he meant it strictly on the ice. If you work hard that second, and eventually the game moves on and whatever. So that's kind of our life motto at the moment, is you just worry about the minute we're in at this moment and don't worry about tomorrow.
We just came back from a trip. We haven't buried Adam yet, and I sat down in his favorite chair in our living room, and I took his urn and I set it on my lap. And I pulled out my phone and I showed him pictures from our trip. I'm holding in my lap my 6'2", 200-pound athletic son in an urn, just like I held him when he was a baby.
Brody was the kind of person you just embrace, because everything he said, you paid attention to. For such a young person, he knew lots, and he was magical almost. Sitting next to Tyler Bieber at games and working the stats were some of his most enjoyable moments.
You impacted so many people in a positive way just by being in the same room as them. Before I met you, I had never met anyone as charismatic and funny as you were. If you asked anyone about Logan, they would tell you that there was never a dull moment when he was around.
He loved to tease all the time, especially me. He's a middle child, and as everyone knows, the middle child is goofy and the peacemaker. He loved to make me smile, and when he moved away, he started to always say he was number one, which made his brother and sister really jealous. And of course, I'd have to say, no, you're not, as he has a brother and sister too. But today, Jax, you're number one, and I love you.
He was kind, never treated anybody as if they were smaller than him or less than him. He had this deep appreciation for the way that everybody could feel, and he was probably the easiest person to relate to talk to love and trust that I've ever known.
Nobody had to tell us this, but certainly Connor was the whole package, a true Canadian boy. He was tough when he needed to be on the ice, We all saw him throw hits that would break bones. But with his friends and his family, he was kind, gentle, and he loved deeply.
He was outstanding. There's not a bad word you can say about that guy. I'd be looking down the bench, where's Shotzi? I need to ask him what his opinion is. That was my first instinct every time. So where's Shotzi? I need to ask him. He'd always have the answer for me.
His sense of humor, his humility, his passion for life that he had. He would have found a way to make his mark. Probably something that required a lot of brain power.
Parker's compassion for others never went unnoticed, no matter what the circumstance was. He always had a positive outlook on the problem and knew how to make light of a dark situation. Whether someone stole the tailgate from his truck, or I let in 3 terrible goals on 3 shots, Tobes would be standing there with that goofy grin of his saying, "Don't worry, man, we will get them next time."
Stephen had an incredible sense of humor. That, combined with his natural resilience and his infectious personality, made him someone that you'd always want to have in your corner. His personality was much like his play on the ice. He was a fantastic team player that you could always depend on. And he was so even keel, even when faced with the toughest of situations.